ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Exit 168. We have a very special show this Wednesday night. The 2014 Bergen County Softball Tournament is about to begin, and here in our studio, it's filled with some beautiful young ladies and two wonderful coaches, and I'm stuck with John Francola for the rest of the night. So, John, tonight we have the tournament starts again. I was just talking to Darren White before the show. Another year has gone by. They have a large group of schools have put in this bracket, and the tournament is starting, and the softballs will be flying all over Bergen County.
Larry, it's the greatest softball tournament around. 41 teams. It's a lot of excitement. Beautiful young ladies, great coaches, no arguments, and we
You
go
hope
on.
no arguments.
There's no arguments.
You hope as an umpire. Well, we want to introduce, we'll do the coaches first, and then we'll have the young ladies introduce themselves. We have Melissa Lendek from Old Japan. Well, thank you for taking time out for coming here. I know you had practice, and now you came here to do the show. And you're going to have someone's going to give you a psychological test when you leave why you came and took so much time. But thank you very much for coming up. We appreciate all you've done in the tournament over the years. John always talks about you and all the work that all of you coaches put into it. So thank you very much for what you do. And of course, Darren White, we've been working with you for I don't know how many years now, the head coach at Saddlebrook. And thank you for coming out. I know you had a game, and I heard the umpiring was wonderful. Any complaints, you can make it right now. It was a great call, right? And in back of the coaches, we have some of the young ladies that they brought here who will be participating in the tournament. What I'd like you to do is to look at Emily right here. We'll start with you. You're Danielle, right? Did I get you? Oh, see, I know. And then we'll go right around. Look into that camera, give your name and the position you play. See, these are questions. I tell you, these and what year you're in. And then we'll talk to you more difficult questions. Okay, so you start. Go ahead.
I'm Danielle Matteo. I'm a senior at Old Japan, and I play first base.
I'm Emma Nelson. I'm a junior, and I play shortstop.
I'm Kristen Farrell. I'm a junior, and I play third.
I'm Alexis Medbury. I'm a junior, and I play center field.
I'm Lauren Alvarez. I play shortstop, and I'm a senior.
I'm Taryn DiGiacomo. I'm a sophomore, and I play outfield, and I pitch.
Well, I want to thank you all for coming. I know, young ladies, you played today, you practice, and there's a lot of work that goes into it. You have homework to do. You got to get ready. There's finals coming up. And I want to thank you personally for taking time to come up here and talk a little about the tournament and what's going on. So let's start, John. We'll start with Darren and Melissa. 41 teams made the tournament.
Yes.
Explain how you got to this. Because we see it in the paper. For those who are watching it, tell them exactly how you got to the 41 teams.
Well, we, a few years back, the basketball tournament opened it up to all the teams that wanted to get in, and there was a selection to get to 32. We decided to open it up and let them play it out. So we have 9 play-in games. Some were played today, and the balance will be played tomorrow. By weather permitting, by Saturday morning, we'll be down to 32 teams.
How did you had a different process this year than
Correct.
previous years?
Last year, at the seating meeting last year, which we're very thorough. It takes about 2.5, 3 hours usually. They usually get it very right, in my opinion. The PowerPoints were virtually identical. There was like 2 teams switched in the first 25. So at the June all-county meeting, it was brought up to the coaches, and it was pretty much unanimous at that meeting from all the Bergen County coaches to use PowerPoints this year, is what we did, and it's the same format this NJSIA uses.
Are you like the PowerPoint situation as opposed to doing it as you did it previous years?
I think it has its pros and cons. Certainly the amount of time that goes into seeding by vote, and in the old process of doing it, we would do 4 teams at a time. So with over 40 teams, you can imagine how tedious that is and how long it takes. So certainly the time element was much better this year in terms of having the computer generate the numbers. That being said, having removed the human element and going strictly by the numbers, I think there are some things that we can do to maybe tweak it, because there are some things where you see some teams that might have, for instance, beaten each other head to head, but the other team went ahead because of the number. And I don't know if that's right or wrong, but it might be something we want to consider going forward.
Basically, it's not totally black and white. You can make some tweaks to the seating and the admissions by the PowerPoint? Can you do
But
that?
this year was set, and
Yeah.
we're following that format. But once again, in June at the all-county meeting, when all the coaches are there, we'll have a discussion on this. And we're, as an association, we're open to meaningful dialogue. And if we could come up with some ideas that is mutually agreeable for everyone, and I've heard some good ideas that definitely have some merit, which I'm sure we'll discuss, and this may be tweaked a little. At the end of the day, everyone wants to get the best system out there and get the best teams where they are best situated to be.
The first time you do something, there's going to be things that maybe you didn't foresee. And like Darren said, he took last year's committee seeds, took last year's PowerPoints, and they did come out almost exact. I don't know if that would have been true this year, but you learn it by doing and going through it.
And was last year the anomaly, or is this year a little
Right.
bit of anomaly? As we go along.
But when you looked at the, like, let's say the top 8, were there any problems when you looked at the top 8 by PowerPoint versus what we would, if we looked at the papers or we looked against each other, would we come up with some teams? Possibly. So maybe this is something to fun. We're not going to get into that. I'm just throwing that out. I know it too, but
I'm sure if there's 41 coaches, I'm sure you're going to have 41 different top 8s in different orders.
41 points of view.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been talked about in media speculation. Yeah, there's some things that, well, I'm 7. I wish I was higher.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about it. I'd love to go play IJ again for the second time this year. But there's some things that, if it was seated the old way, may have been different.
Yeah.
But there's no surprises when you're walking in. Most of the coaches knew exactly
Yeah.
where they were going to fit.
Yeah,
right?
and there's no, it's very transparent. There's no,
Yeah.
oh, this guy did this, or this, there's no innuendo that there was things set up for certain things.
Yeah, I think that happens when you starts getting subjective. You try to do the best you can,
Right.
but someone's going to say, "Wait a minute, I'm here. I should have been there." Here you got the PowerPoint. You press a button, bang, there you are. That's where you're going to be,
Right.
and that's it.
Yeah.
But I guess, like you said, down the road you might be able to tweak it a little bit. It's going to be refined in a number of years, even better than what you have now, because you're going to
We're
see.
always
work
looking
through-
at- yeah.
You're always working something like that. Now, if we could just look at some of the slides here. There are 41 teams, and to have you sit here and talk about all 41 teams, you could get ready to punch in the
could
work
be here for
tomorrow.
days.
I mean, you'll be here all night. But basically, here's what we have. The teams here, we'll start there at 30. You see 33, 32. Garfield, Hasbrook Heights. Now, some of these games were played today, you said?
I know North Arlington defeated Waldwick today 1-0.
Wow.
Great game.
Hey, well pitched, I would assume. It was 1-0. I know they played today because we were scouting the game because we had the winner on Saturday, so we played North Arlington on Saturday at Saddlebrook. All these teams, though, right here, looking at them, you would expect all those games to be very competitive. And the tradition, since we've gone to this playing round, has been these games have been very competitive. And, it kind of gives a team that's, let's say, 32, 33, instead of going right to IHA or Indian Hills and the proverbial electric chair right out of the gate. At least they get a very competitive game in first and get their feet wet and have a good experience. And I think the more we can expose our sport and give an environment for the young ladies that work so hard to play at the varsity level, this is a great opportunity for them.
Maybe we could see the next slide and we'll just go through them and see the games that are coming out. Any game here, either one of you, Melissa or Darren, games here that you look at and say, wow, that's going to be, I'd like to see that game if I wasn't playing, or that's going to be a game that's going to be very interesting. You have the Paramus Altapian all the way down with that Paramus Catholic and Hackensack. There's games there.
But I mean, traditionally that 16-17 Old Japan Park Ridge, they were about PowerPoint apart, I think. So a little bigger school, a little smaller school, 2 great programs, traditional programs there. So the 16-17 game is always traditionally a great game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the next slide we'll just see. Take it to the next, if Ricky can push that down. And now you got here 1 to 8. You got Indian Hills was number 1, Immaculate Carrot. I mean, you could read them right down all the way down to Ridgewood. When you look at when you look at this tournament and your team, what challenges that you see right off the bat when you saw this here?
You know, I think no matter what team you draw, it's the Bergen County tournament. I think everybody steps up this time of year. You know, it's excitement. It's a different feeling on that game day than most other game days. You know, a little extra excitement about it. You know, maybe a bigger crowd and a little more, you know, media coverage and interest. So, you know, I think it's just that excitement that builds up that makes it special, and that everybody's got that feeling that it's a new chapter in the season. Anything could happen on one day.
Do you approach these games differently, or it's always the same? Whether you're playing a regular season, or county, or the states, do you approach them differently as a coach?
I think at this time of year, you go out of your way to do your homework on your opponent. You know your opponent almost a week in advance, so you know you try to get some scouting reports. If you have an opportunity to go and see them, you go and do that. When you're in the midst of your regular season, playing 3-4 games a week, you don't always have, you know, the luxury of doing that. So I think county tournament time, knowing ahead of time, you have that extra scouting ability, which is helpful.
Do you sleep before a big game?
I don't sleep normally, so it's probably even less before a big game.
And during the day, while you're teaching and you got those math problems up there, you ever look and say, "Wait a minute, that guy, I should move him to third place, maybe fourth battle." You ever catch yourself doing that?
It's always somewhere.
There's something in the back of your head, right?
Yes.
You're thinking when you're walking in the corridors and you're going for lunch, you're thinking about, wait a minute, maybe I should bat that person fifth or this one. Do you constantly?
I'm always thinking about the team, you know, the girls, what we have coming up, whether it's what I want to plan for practice or what strategy, you know, what we got to worry about for the team we're playing that day. It's always somewhere.
So besides teaching mathematics at the school, and that's a full load, and taking care of everything there, in the back of your mind is should I bat her first or bat her second? Should I hit and run, right? You got 9 things going on at one time, right?
Always.
That's the life of a coach.
It is.
It's the life of a coach. People don't realize it's the life of a coach. You got 9 things going, and you have to do 10.
And then there's always the unexpected. There's always the unexpected, whether it's, you know, an injury or someone's got to make up a test, or, you know, there's always those little things you deal with.
Wants to make up a test.
You know, there's always
Marks
something.
have to be in now. Darren, how about you? When you look at the tournament, I know every team is tough. Challenges, things you look at any differently?
For ourselves, I mean, we played ourselves today at Pumpkin Lakes, but I had 2 of our coaches out scouting. They were at the Waldwick NA game, and my other scout was at the Rampo PV game. Not to want to look ahead and guarantee something, but if we are victorious on Saturday, we would get most likely PV next Saturday, so we want to be prepared for that. And the reward, if we go 2-0 in the tournament, would probably be playing at IHA the following Saturday, 10 a.m. on their field. So, but we've seemed to be in their bracket every year. It'll probably be about the 5th time we will be playing them in the tournament in the last 6-7 years. So that was one thing when we seeded out the old way. We kept getting their bracket. When the seeds, we're looking at the seeds, I'm like, oh, we're finally out of that 4 or 5 spot, and IHA was 2. So obviously they're a challenge, but we'll be ready. We play them every year in the regular season as well. So you know, we know what they're capable of.
Now, do you sleep before a big game?
Sure, like a baby. I cry all night.
Some people just can't sleep. Other coaches, they walk the floor, they get up, they think, they're running things through their head, what's going on.
No, usually I can sleep all right. Like Melissa said, the worst is the school days. Like, you know, the kids always can't wait till 3 o'clock, can't wait till 3 o'clock. As a teacher on a big game day, can't wait till 3 o'clock.
And the waiting is the worst. The waiting is absolutely the worst. Now, the first games are being played, as we put it up on the on your TV screen, the first games are being played today, and then you have a set of games on Saturday, right?
Well, games played today and or tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow, then you got more coming up Saturday, right?
Right. At
the higher seed.
At the higher seed, there'll be 32 teams on Saturday, and then there'll be 16 games, all at the top 16 seeds will host.
Right, and then the following week you're at, is that IHA the following week?
No,
that's 2 weeks.
Yeah,
okay.
They'll be down to 16.
Down to 16, okay.
Yeah,
right.
There'll be 2 games at Old Japan, 2 games at Emerson, and 4 games at Saddlebrook.
Right, okay, fine. So then The quarters will be at IHA, as you said,
Correct, and that'll be the 18th.
the 18th, and the semis will be at Indian Hills.
Correct.
That'll be Memorial Day weekend,
Memorial Day Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday, and the final will be at the Overpeck Park.
That's still in negotiations.
But that'll be June 1st.
Saturday, May
That's the one in
3rd.
Palisade Park, right? Overpeck or
We're in negotiations.
Okay.
that's the
that'll-
one you negotiated.
That would be, is that the first? I didn't check my calendar.
May 31st.
May 31st. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's everything should, with no rainouts and no
We
problems.
have 2 rain dates backed into Memorial Day weekend too. If
Right.
we're
Okay,
ready.
very good.
You know, a point, you were talking about the seeding. The one thing about a tournament, and I saw it last year, you have teams that get hot in a tournament. And last year you had Hackensack, right? Was it
2 years.
2 years ago,
yeah.
you had Hackensack,
yes.
Yeah.
who got hot at the end of the year, and all of a sudden they had the one young lady, Erin, where everybody was sort of building behind her, and motivation, and that was a great tournament. They beat, I believe they beat Ridgewood, right?
Yes,
At
at
IHA.
Yes.
And to me, that's what's great about softball. Softball, you can look at 41 and you can look at 30 or 25, and the team that plays right, the pitching's throwing the ball, you make the plays, you get the right hits, you can win the game. And that's what's so great about this tournament. You know, you give the opportunity, even though you're going to be there for a while. You may be there one game only, you're playing against the best, but you could upset people.
Absolutely.
Oh, let's talk to the ladies now. They've been sitting here very quiet. It's time. It's
They're
their
saying,
time.
"Why
It's
am I
their
here?"
time. Oh, what kind of questions you're going to ask? It's going to be difficult.
They take all beautiful pictures here,
No
that's all.
quadrangle equations. We're not asking any of those things, okay?
Well, then it goes to Melissa.
Well, she has to answer. So we're going to start with you, right, Danielle? I got you right? Okay. So what position you play? First base?
First base.
Now, you took over that position from a very good player. I saw some birdie whispered in my ear or wrote it on this paper. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Mary Wiley, she went to George Washington this year. She's a freshman there.
Very good. And the best game you had this year, personally, that you can say, gee, I wish I could play that game again over and over again?
Like, as a team, I think we can all agree that our best win was against our rival school, Demarest. We played them once at the beginning of the year, and it was a close game, and we ended up winning. But this game was extra special because it was at their home field, and we went to extra innings, and we had to use the international tiebreaker rule, and we still came out with a win on top.
Very nice. Now, do you get nervous before a game?
I mean, yes and no. Like, there are always some nerves, but it's important that you have to bury them because it helps you focus more when you are more focused on the game and not focused on your nerves.
And it's when you have to play an afternoon game, 4 o'clock, is the day long for you? Like you can't wait to get on the field and run around a little bit?
Yeah, you're like waiting for the bells in each class and itching to get out of your seat and just get on the softball field. You know, every day it's a new exciting day.
Okay. So let's move the microphone down. And you are?
Emma.
You're the shortstop?
Yes.
Oh, I hear nice things about you, that your coach says you're a very good shortstop. You've always played shortstop?
Not my whole life. I was actually an outfielder up until high school.
Really? And what made you change to shortstop? Say your coach did it.
No, I liked the quickness of the infield. In the outfield, you have to be more patient for your time. But I feel like when you're in the infield, you're like involved in every play. You have to pay attention. Where you're going to go next. It's really exciting.
Very good.
Beth.
Johnny, questions?
No, go ahead.
All right,
You go
next.
on a roll.
No, I'm on a roll here.
If not, then I'll.
Then you have to come in and
object.
relieve me. And you are Emma. Okay, what position you play?
This is Kristen. That was a
Kristen.
That's Kristen.
You got Kristen.
You got
All
me.
right, put them out. I'm
That's it.
taking over.
He's taking over. What position you play? Now tell everybody.
I play third.
Oh,
The hot seat.
when you come in for a bunt, do you ever get nervous they're going to change and swing? I mean, I've done a lot of softball games, and I see the infielders come in, and the coaches say, come in, and I'll look at, if I was playing, I'd say, not that close, but it doesn't bother you to come in that close to you for a bunt, or you got such great hands you don't have to worry about if they swing?
I mean, sometimes it's a little scary because you never know what they're going to do, but usually I'm okay.
Do you like
Doesn't
playing
really-
third base? Hot
Yeah.
corner, get a lot of ground balls hit at you hard?
Yeah.
Yep. You ever go to your right, make a stab, and throw the ball to first base?
Yeah.
You've done that?
Yeah.
Wow. And you threw them out, right?
Yeah.
They don't run like him, do they?
Then she would throw me out all the time.
She could roll the ball to first base and get you. So you like playing third base?
Yeah, I like the quickness of
And how
it.
about hitting? You can get the bat around. You do pretty good at hitting.
Yeah.
You want to stay at shortstop?
Well, at third.
They're
Up
better.
third. I'm sorry. You want to stay at third?
I mean, it's a good position. I used to pitch, so I I mean, I like pitching too, but yeah,
All right.
there's fun
But
too.
isn't what the coach, if the coach needs you to play someplace else, you'll say, of course,
Yeah,
Coach.
whatever's best for the
For the team.
I'll do.
That's the right answer.
Looking forward to
Always.
the tournament?
Of course, yeah. I'm looking forward to the competition, and the team's definitely excited to be playing such competitive teams.
Very good. All right, we'll pass it down. So you tell us your name now, because if I make a mistake, I'll never get for 2 days if he's calling me up.
Listen, I will.
You will. I know you will.
I'm going to write an
I'm
email.
Alexa.
Go ahead. Tell us your name and the position you play.
I'm Alexa, and I play center field.
Okay. And the tournament means a lot to you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And what about when during the day? Does it go very slow for you to 3 o'clock, waiting for it, or do you just
School usually
in the flow?
does,
Yeah?
but yeah, especially on game days.
Now, what was the? Do you have a good? Can you think of a good at bat you had this year that you really thought you did everything came well? I bet you had a lot of them. They got to think about this. You got about 15 or 20 at bats that you really did well. Is there one at bat or one game you thought you really did well?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We were playing Ridgewood. It was my third at bat. I had 2 strikes on me, and and the pitcher she was throwing really well, and ended up hitting a double over the center fielder.
So it was good.
That's an
Yeah,
excellent
bounced right
shot.
back there. You did very well. Oh, very good. Very good. Okay, we're going to move here now. You got your mic, right? So you don't have to worry about that mic coming down, right? Okay, you are Taryn DiGiacomo?
Yeah.
I got it right. See, I know some of you.
Is it
Think I'm
Di
like him.
Giacomo or Di Giacomo?
DiGiacomo.
Come on. Hey, you're
I said
Italian.
DiGiacomo.
Come on, what are you doing at Di Giacomo? What?
Well, that's a Southern Italian dialect.
All right, all right.
And what position do you play?
I play outfield and I pitch.
Oh, very good. Now, is there a game that you remember that you really said this year, or even last year, that you really played well and say, I want to try to play like that every game?
Well, actually, this Saturday, Ramapo, when we played them, I came in to pitch, and we were actually losing, and I pitched, and I held them. They did score runs, but, I mean, I held them, and we ended up winning.
Very nice.
And it was important because it was the Hoffs tournament, and that's what we run that tournament, and our coach, his wife, had cancer, and it affected us through not only her, but we did have someone pass away who played for the team, and her mom had passed away, so winning that game meant a lot for like the whole town and the team and everything.
So it was a little bit more than just a softball game. There was a little more deep in it. And you're a sophomore?
Yeah.
Wow, you do very well talking like this. you want my job and I'll sit there?
No.
You'd have to work with him. That's the think about that.
Not a problem. Come on. They
Very
were
nice.
watching out for me today.
So the days go by slow for you? When you get there at 8 o'clock or 8:15, whatever day they start,
Yeah.
and you got a big game at 4, does the day go very slow?
Yeah.
Does a coach bump into you during the day and ask you how you feel?
Yeah, I mean, you'll be walking down the hallway this way, and he'll be going that way, and you're trying to walk away, and he's still talking to you.
You don't come. He
Truth
doesn't.
comes out.
Does he have? Must be important, right?
He's the gym teacher.
Yeah, well, get away from them, right? All right, we'll take the next one here. Give us
she's a
your name
shortstop.
and your position. No,
She's a
your
shortstop.
name. Go ahead.
Lorena.
Lorena, you play shortstop?
Yeah.
See, I knew that. You too. About a game that you played that you thought you did very well, and you like to emulate that during the year. It must be a lot of games you have to figure out which one, but.
Both IC games you played well.
Yeah, I would say my best game would be against IC. We had a good game.
You had a nice game, hitting, fielding, everything?
Yeah, both.
Very good.
Both.
Yeah, I got to keep the microphone up there. Very good. And do you worry about games? You get nervous before a game?
No, I really don't get nervous. I feel like there's really nothing to be nervous about.
You're getting ready for the county tournament?
Yeah.
Will that be any different than a regular season game?
No, I mean, we always go out hard either game, whether it's a county game or a regular game, so it'll be just another win to us.
Yeah,
If-
we talked to a lot of coaches, and they say they do the same. Try to make every
Yeah.
game the same. Do the same thing all the time. Don't change, because you get caught up in it. You might get too nervous or
Yeah.
butterflies, but that doesn't bother you. So you just go out and play, and you don't worry about not sleeping at night before a big game.
No, I get some good sleep.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you girls for coming here, young ladies. I shouldn't say girls. I got a
Yeah.
granddaughter a little younger than you, young ladies. You put a lot of work into it. The people don't realize, the coaches and the players, how how much time you put into it. Now, you're here tonight. It's 8:30. You got to go home. I'm sure there's homework. Some of you haven't eaten, I bet, right? Some of you still have to eat dinner and do homework. And so we want to thank you for taking your time. And we wish you all the luck in the world in the playoffs, and enjoy it. It's something that you'll remember for a long, long time. Right, John?
Unbelievable. I enjoy it. I've been doing it for a lot of years, umpiring, and I think it's great. To me, it's the best sport to be involved as an umpire, as a player. I think the camaraderie and the way the kids behave, the women coaches as men and also the players, there's a great feeling out there. Today was a beautiful game, I thought. Everybody played hard. There was a lot of great plays on both teams. And the game ended. Everybody was happy. We drove home. That was it, right? And here we are.
So everybody, it's like we do.
Yes.
When we do a game, when you're playing, we have to interview Darren, talk to him, know about you. We have to know your batting average, your hitting, what you're doing good, something about yourself. So I have to study all of that. So we get up for a game. We get excited for the game. We get ready for it. And John, he stands in front of a mirror and does strike one, ball one, save, out. And he does that for a half hour, 40 minutes.
Boy, you're really doing a number.
And he comes to the game. He thinks he's calling the game. He buys ball one. I said, no, we're doing the game. We're not umpiring here. But we really enjoy doing the county games. And we've seen some tremendous games and some great plays and memories. And you've given us a lot of memories. When I say you, I mean the players that came before you gave a lot of memories. And you're going to give memories to the people that come and watch these games. They're going to say, you remember that team when Old Tapan played so-and-so, or when Saddlebrook played? And years from now, you're going to talk about it. And it becomes better and better every year. So I want to thank you again for coming. And I hope you have tremendous success. And you bring everyone, especially yourselves, great memories. Because that's important, okay? So thank you. John, you want to give him the final out, safe, go, stop?
No, I gave too many today. I felt I had 5 behind the plate.
So
to keep you busy.
So just before we go again, Darren, just go over the schedule, the games, when they're going to be played.
You want to use?
And if you want to use paper, if you don't have it in your head, just very quickly when they're going to. The games
round of 32 is this Saturday, the 10th, at the higher seeded team.
Right.
The round of 16 will be next Saturday, the 17th of May. There'll be 4 games at Saddlebrook. There'll be 2 games at Old Tapan and 2 games at Emerson. The 8 teams that win those games will play in the quarterfinals the next day on Sunday, May 18th at IHA. Down to the Final Four Memorial Day weekend on that Saturday, which is the 24th of May. The Final Four semifinals will be at Indian Hills, and then the final will be the following week, May 31st.
Very good. So you have it all up here. You know
Yes.
everything there is. John, final words?
Well, no, the one point, I remember when we did the game at Montclair State.
There's
That'd
a chance.
be a great place to
Yeah,
go
I
back.
agree.
I would love that.
I agree.
To me, for a venue and to great shots and what atmosphere. And that coach there did a great job.
Anita is very good. We're
I
playing-
would pitch for that at
Yeah.
any place because you played in a stadium and you're looking out. And for the ladies playing, it's phenomenal there. You feel like you're in a big stadium. It's beautiful.
We're playing there Tuesday night, so I'm trying.
That's great.
That's great.
You ever been there before? You ever played Montclair? Yeah, it's great. A great event. We enjoyed it as broadcasters. It must be spectacular for you guys involved in it. Well, I'm going to let you go. You got to get home. You got to get ready. You got to start thinking and preparing and strategizing.
And of course, good luck for them
And
to keep
always
winning.
good luck to all of you. We wish you all the best, and we'll hope to see you along the way, okay?
Thank
All
you.
right, so for John Francola, the crowd in the control room, we drove crazy a little bit tonight. We hope you enjoyed the show. We have another show on Friday night. We're going to have the Bergen Youth Orchestra with Gene Miner on, and we hope you watch that show. This is a very special show we had here on Wednesday night. So for the entire gang at WCTV, for the coaches and players, for Old Tapan and Saddlebrook, Lively Fury, John Francola saying thank you for watching, and go out and see these young ladies play. You'll get tremendous excitement and many memories. Good night, everybody.
Nobody out, 1 runner on, who was Jen Keller. D'Ambrosio is up. We have 1 ball, 2 strikes, and here we go. We pick it up again after a 31-minute and 16-second delay. Drive down the right field line is foul.
It's going to be hard for DeMeo to pitch the same intensity because of the weight and because of the water that's probably on the ball. It gets slippery. Some pitches that you need special grips for might not happen.
Yeah, when we talked about that inning, you had Bischoff had a double, and then DeMayo had a single, and then there was an error where the second run was scored. So that's your 2 runs.
Just outside, ball 2, 2-2.
So 2-2, nobody out in the bottom of the 9th.
Ball 3. So DeMayo's 1 pitch away from putting first and second, a tying run on with no out here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
She needs a strikeout if you're rooting for the Indians. Out of play.
Right over my head. Hey, are we protected if any ball comes through here?
No.
No.
I'll save you. What a great game. This is what softball is all about.
Our brothers up all over the way. Penn is looking for it.
And it hit the golf cart.
Hit the golf cart. It hit the cart with Mike Picchiotti in it.
And Ben Allen, the coach for Ramapo softball. Amato that time ran from first base to try to catch that.
So we have 3 balls, 2 strikes, no one out.
You know what? It's starting to clear up a little bit, I think.
Drive it to left center field. Ball is bounding in there. They're going to wave 1 run in, maybe. Yep, they're going to hold it. And D'Ambrosio slides in with a double. Second and third. The tying run is at second base.
And no outs.
And nobody out.
And the pitcher, Christina McGill comes up. Courtesy runner in for the catcher. I don't know who it is, but that's fine.
What a game.
And
so now we have second and third. Nobody out.
IHA players and fans are really fired up right now.
So Christina McHale is coming up. Second and third.
It's a courtesy runner.
Grimshaw is running at second base. She is
Courtesy
the tying
runner.
run. The winning run is in Miguel's hands. Drive to deep left center field. Way back, way back. It's gone. Oh,
It just went
the game.
over the fence.
Christina. The pitcher, Christina McGill. It's a home run over the left center field fence.
Over the fence. And they mob Miguel.
Whoa, and just like
That just happened. Wow, no one
to
was
the heart.
expecting that.
What a shot.
That is a crazy ending to a crazy game.